Hi, this is Mia. I made a video earlier prior to getting back into my notes here that I'm studying. The first video was 16 minutes, part 1, because I wanted to touch on dealing with racism at school, at work, in in your neighborhood, if you're in a housing program, if you own a house, in banks. I want to do everything via the internet so I don't have to interact, and what sucks is whether you get treated poorly or not, you're going to be giving someone else their money, or if you're getting ripped off from, like, say you help someone paint their garage and they're going to pay you $200, and I understand if I don't know somebody that well, I'm not going to necessarily pay them in advance for the work, but it ends up you do the work and they don't pay you, and it's like, are you going to go undo the work? They got their cake and they ate it too, and I'm dealing with situations like that, and it's like, do you just be friendly and say, okay, they'll come around and I'll pray about it and realize that I'll get my money, or do you just go all out and be like, it's like, you're firm, and then all of a sudden they still ignore you, and then you're like, okay, I'm suing you. And then if you didn't need the $200, what's the word? Okay, you did some job that was really hard, that took time out of your life and your kids, not being a family person, and then you do this job, and maybe sometimes it's to help someone. Oh, I can't find anyone to help me. Whatever reason, but if you're doing this for $200, maybe you can't afford to hire a lawyer who's charging $250. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes you just have to take your losses. You'll be like, sometimes you have enough money where you're like, that's not going to matter. Sometimes in a situation like me, you're like, alright, this is not the wisest thing to do. But it's like, okay, I need food now. I'll finish painting by Sunday. They'll give me the money when I leave. They'll write me a check. I can cash it in the ATM tonight, Sunday night. Put something on a credit card. Boom. $200. Groceries. Gas. Go back. Sunday night, thinking you're going to pay off your credit card in full and still have a few bucks left to tuck away for a rainy day. And then you have nothing. Or put gas in your car. Or you already did that, but you know what I mean. Replace the jeans you wore when you were painting. He's like, oh well. You can wear work. You can wear black jeans, apparently. I have no black jeans, so I'm at the position right now where I've taken on some over the past 30-something years, like mainly 30 years, volunteering for different things. A lot of the volunteering was with my mom at work. I was in places where it's kid-friendly, or she was the boss, so I was there and I was quiet and sometimes doing homework or watching TV when you can actually watch without a converter box or something. And I'd volunteer at our place of employment, work in a snack bar and do all that stuff. I don't remember working in the snack bar, but I remember doing music and cleaning and doing different things like that. But I wanted to say in the past couple of years, I've left some volunteer positions, some places for a long period of time, which end up kind of backfiring on me and my family, and I've joined some others and kind of set some boundaries with everything, and then others where we push through, just to say, hey, for me, I'm like, I don't have any friends, I don't have any family. People at school are not family. People that are not family. Yes, you can communicate and talk to one another. Family is far away, 2,000 or more miles. I had one relative that's going to come visit me for years and years, never came. So, there's relatives that visit, and they visit at a time where it's like, I'm still in school, going to a clinic, and then working a job. It was like, it wasn't really good timing. It was like one of those days where people don't necessarily call you and be like, I'm getting plane tickets. What would be a good time? Like, they don't really, I mean, I don't think they, it's like, sometimes I'm like, money, and I need to be careful because I don't want people using me for a vacation resort, you know. It's like, I can't be friends with me now when I have nothing. And that's a biblical thing about, you know, you have all these friends when you have money, and then all of a sudden you lose your money, you lose your friends. But I'm just like, I don't want to be taken advantage of because I got my own bills to pay and my own things to do. Not saying I won't share and bring people, I just don't want all these people that are ignoring me now, or they can't communicate like a friend or relative, and have to be, just be like, totally like I don't exist, and then try to, you know, it's fine for someone to be, oh, I was thinking, oh, we're getting older, we might as well hang out or talk, you know, or I just had a couple kids, sorry, I had several years of, you know, being exhausted, I understand. I have to say this. I'm reading a book about doulas, and I remember reading a whole bunch of books about childbirth. I got them everywhere, and I have 6 in it right now for 2 births. So the last video was 55 minutes, and it broke, and now I need to make this short. And I'm praying to God that I can get a good night's sleep and take my test and get a good night's sleep again and again, because I'm really feeling run down, and it's the type of society where, hey, my doctor tells me I'm not supposed to work because I'm sick or injured. Well, your work or school's like, too bad you can't be absent. And like, but I have doctors now. It's a good excuse. Well, too bad. This is not a good time for that. And then they spend the whole time emailing companies, so you better get in there. It's not a good enough excuse. And then they're like, I'm online, so there's phone calls all day. You know, it's really bad. In school, they say you can be absent this many times, but then they'll say, oh, you can be absent 0 times. And you're like, oh. It's like, the school policy says this, but the teacher says this. And it's like, the teacher's the one giving the grade, not the school. The school's taking the money, but the teacher's giving the grade, so you've got to kind of pay attention to the teacher. When you try to fight their going against the policy, they will say, because I've questioned this, they're like, no, the teacher is the ultimate person. If you don't follow their requirements, you fail. And it's like, okay, then. It's like, usually what I thought in the policy, that way you can be absent for certain circumstances, such as doctors know. But if the teacher says you can't be, then you better go to class. Like what? It's like, there's no point. It's just anarchy, you know. I shy away from talking about business and being successful and being paid my worth, and being paid not only for education, past experience, like, you know, kind of having specializing, not specialized, but just different facets of, you know, even all the stuff in volunteering, all the jobs, and like my own experience I had my whole life. I'm older than a lot of people, and to realize about interviews, people, 100-year-old people, like, oh my gosh, learn about herbs, you learn about this, like, someone should have done this a long time ago. I saw this other video, the lady had no teeth, like, oh, I should have done this a long time ago, you could understand her speech better, she can understand you better, but you're like, you just want to capture that wisdom of age and experience and going through the U.S. with all of this different civil rights and different presidents and different tax rules, insurance, medical things going up and down and up and down. And I shy away right now because a lot of my focus is earn money so I can get a license, so I can earn the money I am entitled. And if this was one of those things, like you hear some African village where they pay for you to go to school to be the village doctor, and then they set you up in a house, and all your cares are taken care of, and you work as that village doctor. This is different. I would do that. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to school, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to give back to my community and be the person. But they don't do that. It's like, I go to medical school, oh, I want to give back to the community. In order for you to even be able to give any medical advice, including nutritional advice, you got to pay a whole bunch of money. Like, a whole bunch of money, and so outrageous payback that it's going to be $1 million to pay it back. And you're like, and you're going to be over 65 when that happens. And then you look at you look at other 65-year-olds that are professionals and medical professionals, and you see them owning houses, owning cars, still scraping together, trying to help their family and everything, but, like, their grown children, but they're able to go to restaurants, they're able to buy new clothes, new shoes as needed, get their car fixed, get their hair done, get glasses, get their nails done, and you see them, they're like amazing, but you see them paying dollars. Oh, I'm 65 years old, and I'm still working, I paid back my last loan, and now I can finally work for the next 20 years so I can actually buy a house and send my kids to college. Oh, kids, you're like, you're 55 now, I can help support you while you go to college. Like, it's a bleak outlook. And then thinking of business teachers saying, you want to be givers, you want to do science, you want to do this, you want to go to Haiti, you want to go to, and some people do all this stuff. It's like, and some people have all their money, but it's like, are you going to default on your loan and lose your license? Are you going to default on your rent or your mortgage and lose your home? Or have your car repoed? It's like, they're just like, you got to make ends meet. You got to bust your butt. They say for years and years, like 25 years from now, then you go involuntary week in Jamaica. Then you give to all these organizations that are begging you for money because you're alumni of this medical place. They think, oh, you're going to have money. Like, people do it, and yeah, people get tax benefits and this and that and this. And some people got more money than their spouse, or they left money, and some people are dirt poor. They're still going to give. Oftentimes it is the poor people that give, but they're still going to be sitting in a shack with raggedy furniture like me. And I mean, not saying I'm going to live like this forever. I just wanted to share that. It makes it difficult for me because I've felt being taken advantage of because they give an unlimited amount of loans. So then the tuition keeps going up and up and up. So the reason that I'm shying back is I haven't been to be paid to be a volunteer resource. I've been known to have a lot of help that I could give to groups, and they'll take some, and they'll leave some, and all of the bulk of this idea and all the stuff I have, we work together, would make things really move forward, especially the group's already formed, but they are like, no, we're not going to listen to you, who are you, and what do you know, and it's like, I'm not Janet Jackson, I'm not standing up, traveling around the world, where everyone knows me, nowadays I don't even know if anyone knows her, but it's like, I'm not some movie star, some TV show, some reality TV star, and so people are like, oh, whatever, she doesn't know anything, like, I can say something, but the small group in a class, this is this, and they'll spend an hour looking it up, and at the end, oh, the answer is this, I found it. I'm like, I told you out of the top of your head an hour ago, and I've gone on to do other work for another class because you guys are idiots. I can say it loudly, look them in the eye, and they'll it's like I am invisible. And I'm always like, dear God, help me to channel this anger and this wisdom and this education and being to pay attention and read all these extra books. I've read, people are like, oh, I can't wait till medical is on so I can read again. I read in years. I read stacks of books every month. And I'm not bragging, because if I didn't read my books, I would maybe have my notes more memorized, or other things, shampoo the rugs or something, it's like, but I just have this, like, fiend for knowledge, and it's not necessarily internet junk. It's not just some random person, it's like, oh, somebody read this book, this is right on, this business book, spot on, this medical book, spot on. It's not just like something randomly thrown on day or night. Edit it or to verify that stuff is legitimate. So, what I'm shying away is, for me, getting, it's like getting to the top of the mountain, Mount Fuji or something, and me not this far from the top and just being like, it's like, cramp, lay cramp. It's like, and sometimes just like, and you're like shivering, you're cold, you use the bathroom, you're hungry, you're running out of water. It's just like, if I can get to the top, then I can ease my way back down to life, on life term, the way that it needs to be. And so I feel like I'm just like so close. And you see everyone else going up, yeah, I made it, putting up their flag and coming back down. And it's like, I can't just turn around and quit right now. I gotta get to that goal, grab the and clap, and by the time everyone will be gone. But I need to do that for me, between me and God, my relationship with God. And I feel like everything is being, I feel a glass ceiling. I just feel like everything is being blocked. And the second thing I want to say is, you can learn. There's some groups of people I worked with over the years, and some of them, if you were to judge what type of people are, and judge by the way they look and the raggedy cars, you would be like, you could judge them bad. And those type of people I worked with were the best group of people, the most honest, the most organized, no matter what they look like, no matter what, the piercings and tattoos. And there's other groups of clean cuts people and driving their fancy cars and all this, and they've been dishonest. Oh yeah, and over basically. So what I am shrinking down in shame is, I told myself, God, I don't want to give to this group and then have them steal from me, when I could have used this experience to build up my own practice or do the things I needed to do. And I'm not necessarily doing this so I can write it on my resume. I write it on my resume because it's been hard work, and it's good to, I think it's good to be involved and reach out in family, or in the community, reach out and go to classes with these people. That's where you learn about classes. That's where you learn about presentations. That's where you learn about volunteer projects. And I think it's good to put that on your resume because that's a skill that you learned. Not necessarily like, oh, this is a prestigious group, I'm going to do this, and it's nothing that I do is really prestigious, but you can't let them walk all over you. And so my thing right now is, I'm almost about to write my own business book, because none of these they're very vague. They're like, go to this website, do this, check your tax law. I mean, you go to any government, my website or my, and you can see that same, first do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. So basically these people is like, take that template and they do chapters on each one and put some more links. It's almost like a long article, like a long e-how article or something. Like, this is very vague. It's not about the business I want to do. It's not about the state that I live in. And that is understandable, both of those things. But so far on these books, some of them I need to get into that are area. Like, I think I probably need to read cover to cover and take notes and put up a plan and go to those websites if they tell you go here and print out this. I need to do it. I think that's part of it. I'm not going anywhere, but some of the stuff I'm stuck. at the licensing and the ordering certain business, registering business. I've got some stuff pending, and that's where my problem is. And no amount of books isn't going to help me unless, I mean, I don't know. It's a case-by-case individual issue. And one of them, through my county, my specifics of this business, if you're signing up for the right thing, they just tell you if you do it wrong, you'll have to hire a lawyer to fix it. And if you do stuff wrong legally and financially and through the IRS, you're going to have issues. So right now I'm like, thing that's on the tip of my tongue is, and I realized this when someone else was like, oh, do this, and I don't know about some of the other things. Picture to someone printed, they might take my pictures and use them for monetary, and I own the copyright, and I'm freaking out that I may have given that away. So I'm like, oh, just go get new pictures taken. But it's one of those things where like, oh yeah, by the way, you need this, like, and do that before the class, and you're like, last minute, middle of the night, you just do these online application. Like, last thing I do is shut my computer with it still open. So that was really a problem. Like, I need to step back, take a breath. So the thing that's on the tip of my tongue is going through these, even on the internet, eHow and all this stuff. I do get a lot of information, but going through this real-time, current, my situation from my state, county, and my city, if I'm giving I'm teaching class, I'm made a video and I'm gonna sell it to somebody, what is the law there? Or they're gonna put it on their website, what is the law and what are my requirements? Because they always told you, someone might be your friend and think this and that, but don't sign anything that you don't agree with. And what's happening to me is all that signing stuff and agreement and all that stuff has been put somewhere else. And I got paid for it's already gone and passed. Just like painting that garage. Sunday's gone. It's been here and gone. So I'm like, because I don't think that someone's gonna be dishonest, because I would be like, dude, if I'm gonna borrow $20 from you, I don't want to borrow it. Someone lent me that money, and I was like, as soon as I got money, it's back in your hand. I don't want to forget about it. I don't want to be careless. I don't want to be like, well, she said I could pay her back anytime. I'll just get gas. I want to just... So that's the important thing, is read the fine print. If there is no fine print, I don't have to verbally agree. Because that may not hold up in court. And right now I feel embarrassed that I allow myself to be tricked. And the biggest thing is, if I'm standing on a corner with a basket trying to get money, and someone gives me money, and someone else gives me money, and someone else gives me money, I would keep standing there. And the same thing with me. If I'm going to be a sucker and give you this, and give you this, and give you this, someone's going to keep lining up and calling me and be like, give me this, like, until I say no, or stop. Like, if I say no, they're going to go to the next person. And so I'm going to push stop now, upload this before the battery dies, and I'm going to pray about justice to be done. And, I mean, people commit crimes against people, and the crime's already committed. You want justice to be done, but you've already been victimized. You've already been robbed. Your kids have already been harmed. Someone has been murdered. Your house has been burned to you. Like, I want to pray for justice to be done, but it's like, I need to learn my lesson and not have this happen, because it's very, it's preventable. In this situation where you're doing verbal agreements, it's like, no, you need to write it down. I don't care if you write it on a napkin. Write it for a copy. We both get a copy. And we have a way from now on. And I mean, this is the real world. This is not a small town where we're all gardeners and we share crops and we don't have to pay mortgage and taxes. It's like, this is not, it's just like, you're gonna get evicted, you're gonna go into default on your loan, you're gonna lose your car. Like, you can't play around. And the people that get money know how to get more, and the people that stay lower income, there's a problem. It's just like this whole thing about support of family, even just saying, hey, you need to really do something. And my family's like, oh, you're just it's almost like I'm 17. Oh, you don't need that money. Oh, you don't. It's like, listen, buddy, I have 2 kids, and I have a place that's very expensive to live in. It's like, this is not like money to go to the movies on Saturday. This is like the real world. I think a lot of people, they just moved up the ladder and got a higher income. But it's not really like that here, where I live, where they don't live and they don't know about it. Even the people here don't know about it, because I have stepped out of the box, and that's where they try to beat you down, back into the box, and that's where my problem is. So, I'll make another video. I'm sorry if you can't hear. I'll have to have you guys tell me that, and next time I'll talk loud. I just don't want to upset my family from being stressed.